Destination Newry, it's the morning programme. I'm Rowan Edward Mary Martin Hand. My mother was a divil for names. Good woman, she's in heaven today. One of my heroes, one of the people I worship in life, my mother. And another person I love in a different kind of way in life, I worship in a different kind of way in life, is the great aficionado, the man of sporting prowess, Mr. Damien McCullough. How are you, oh guru, this morning, sir?
I'm grand, Rowan. I'm pretty upbeat about the World Cup.
You're pleased England's out, or almost out.
Well, you see, there's a whole lot of us here in this part of the world. We love to see them getting beat.
But
we delight in them getting beat. But you also like to see them progress because we know, you know who the players are because of the Premiership. But I looked back at a little clip that Roy Keane done earlier on the year, and he said that he just felt that England would not do well. And the co-commentators in the studio, it must have been UTV because he worked with UTV at that time, and they all laughed at him, and it has come true. And my only regret was that he wasn't sitting in the studio last night because he stepped down from the UTV report. He would have said the right things. He would have told everybody what he thought about England. Because listen to the commentators now they're coming back. We're not out yet. Italy has to beat Costa Rica and Uruguay, and we've got to beat Costa Rica to qualify. Now,
hey, that's a poem.
Well, it probably is, but it'll not happen because they're living in cloud cuckoo land. And that man, who to me is probably one of the greatest footballers of modern era, Luis Suarez.
Luis Suarez.
He is about 3 steps ahead of everybody else in what he does. He got 2 sniffs last night, and bang, bang, back at the net.
Just does it.
The second goal, I would probably say the goalkeeper made a huge mistake by going down too early.
Yeah.
And Stevie G, and I have to be careful about this because Stevie Gerrard is like a god in our house because all our house are all Liverpool fans, you see. But I think Stevie G is done. He's over the hill and he's too slow and he's not delivering on the big stage.
Sorry, I beg your pardon. Hello? Yeah, hello, Mrs. Yeah, he's here. It's your wife. Yeah, okay, I'll tell him. You're making your own dinner tonight. So there you are. Tough luck.
No bother.
So Stevie Gerrard's done.
Well, you know, at international level, because you know they had no midfield creativity last night at all. You know, and they were relying, and and I have to take my hat off to Wayne Rooney. The abuse that guy gets, and you know.
Do you know something? You're right.
You know, he does get a lot of abuse, but he gets £200,000 a week. So
well, I was going to say that. I was trying to bring on a tear there, but couldn't. No, I don't give a tuppenny toss about Wayne Rooney
I know,
because he's overpaid and underskilled.
Well, he was probably the best player that England had on last night.
In their time.
Yes, you know,
in his time.
And, you know, okay. Well, the other argument is, Rowan, like, you know, is the footballers not better getting the money than the TV company?
Yeah, but it shouldn't be one or the other.
Well, I mean...
Now, this is World Refugee Day. Let them all go and give some money out to things that are important in life.
Why doesn't all the multi-million businesses do the same?
Some of them are doing it.
But very little.
Oh, no, quite a few of them are.
But I mean, they're giving very little money.
No, but I mean, it's not one or the other. It's not... I think there should be a realistic level of payment for men who kick a ball.
Well, I agree. I reckon there should have been a cap on the wages. The wages are too big. There's no doubt about it. But going back to the game last night, Suarez had an operation 4 weeks ago. And he came in this first game last night, and he scored 2 cracking goals. And I mean, when
describe the goals. I didn't see it. You see, tell the people.
Well, the first goal was a little header, a little 16-yard over the top pass.
Just do it. I want you to do it. But in your own, not you know, you have a colourful way. I want you to. I want you to tell the people. I want you to paint a word picture which you're so eminently capable of doing.
Well, the ball was passed.
Wait for it. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1.
The ball was just clipped over from the left side. Suarez comes in between 2 defenders and just nicks the ball on the top of the head and just sails it in past Joe Hart. And Joe Hart was floundering left, floundering in the wake. It was like a jumbo jet spin of the tail coming round. He couldn't get anywhere near the ball. Ball ended up in the back of the net. But the second goal...
Stand by for the second goal.
The second goal was...
Are you ready for the second goal?
The goalkeeper...
No, don't stop on it. Tell the people. Stand by. This is it again. 3, 2, 1.
And the goalkeeper launches a Holy Mary Mother of God ball up the middle of the field. The ball comes down. Stevie Gerrard goes to head the ball, but he forgot he was playing for Liverpool, and he headed it back towards Luis Suarez. Luis Suarez goes in behind all the defenders, hits the ball, rockets the ball to the back of the net. Uruguay 2, England 1, England's going home, they're leaving on a jet plane. End of story, Rowan, that's the way it
I
went.
now know why I love him. He's bloody marvellous. You are good. But you were mentioning, when you said the goalkeeper went down too early, what do you mean by that?
Well, Joe Hart's a big keeper. So,
and is he playing for Tyrone as well?
No, that's his cousin Mickey.
Ah, no.
Peter, sorry, cousin Peter. No, a goalkeeper, like, these guys are professionals, so they know what's needed. Like, Joe Hart knows what Luis Suarez is capable of, what he's going to do, and he just went down too easy. When I say he went down, he committed himself, and Suarez probably just
took his wee moment.
Well, yes, because if you watch Suarez, every time he's doing this, he's looking, and he's seeing things probably in slow motion, where everybody else is seeing them at 100 miles an hour. So the keeper went down. I reckon that the keeper had
and Suarez stood. Let him go down.
Oh yeah, but I mean,
counted 1, 2, 3.
Well, and it's even a million times quicker than that. But in his head, it stayed.
So, he's slow.
So he put the ball in the back of the net, and obviously, then all the talk is about Suarez. It'll be good fun when he goes back to England. If he goes back, because I reckon Real Madrid or somebody's going to come in and offer crazy
money to get him.
And maybe Liverpool's going to have to say.
Well, you mentioned someone, and you were putting very considerable importance on his point of view. That failure of modern football, that sitter, that bench warmer, that fellow Roy Keane. Like, who is he now? Remind me of who Roy Keane is. What was the last great thing he did?
Well, he was very, very good in the UTV commentating.
And he stopped?
Well, he stopped. But
why did he stop?
Well, I don't know, because there was talk that he was going to go to Celtic, and he didn't go to Celtic.
That's
but
right.
Obviously,
why did he not go to Celtic?
Because he's probably going somewhere else.
Because
he's probably going somewhere else.
I think he's had his day.
Oh, no. Trust me on this. Roy Keane will be back managing in the Premiership somewhere.
Really?
Oh, yeah. If not,
what age is he now?
Well, he's only 40, mid-40s.
But mid-40s is a very old age to be managing the Premier. You need to be sharp, you need to be up there, you need to be fit, you need to be mentally agile. He has taken such a battering all the way through from the debacle of the World Cup when he went home. He's been constantly on the back foot. Does it come a point when it's too much?
Remember, he took Sunderland from nothing to the Premiership. I know he didn't do so well in some of the other teams, but look, he's learning his trade. So look at Alex Ferguson. Alex Ferguson was 70 odd when he stepped down from the Premiership. I think that Keane has the ability to do it. But what I like about him, he's honest and he tells the tale, because watching the commentary on BBC and UTV, it is cringeworthy, it is dreadful, it is horrible. These guys haven't it in them to torment and say, look lads, we're not good enough. But I have to say, fair play to the English manager, because he has given the young lads a chance. And, they will benefit, England will benefit from it. So I would say that he's done the right thing. The press will hound him and they'll look to get rid of him and all that out crap. But he says this morning, I'm not going anywhere. And to be fair,
so he's only in.
Well, he's only in, and he carries no baggage with him. I would say he'll be grand, and England will be, they'll have learned a whole lot about themselves.
Okay.
And I would be saying, let the young fellas take the responsibility and play them, because there's no point in playing the older guys, because at this stage, and the next match again, Costa Rica, I would be going all guns out. You go for it, and you go and see can you score as many as you can.
Why is Suarez as good as he is?
Because he's just one of those phenomenals of footballers that come once in a lifetime. You had Cruyff in the set. You would remember Johan Cruyff.
I do.
Socrates, Falco.
We talked about Socrates before.
And funny enough, Socrates was playing last night for Greece.
There you are, Socrates.
So
how you doing?
So I have to say, Suarez is class. I mean, he's just brilliant. And again, Rowan, when you think of Uruguay and you think of, it's a little small South American country. I mean, these guys shouldn't be competing with the likes of England, dare I say, And they always say that Luis Suarez has never played against a top world team. Well, that's probably true.
Take me away from World Cup soccer, if you would. Is it on the television, by the way?
It is, yeah.
What station?
It's on BBC One, it's on BBC UTV, it's on RTE, and...
Oh, thanks be to God for Frost and Lewis on ITV3.
Well,
anyway, take me into GRA.
Well, a big weekend for the Féile. The All-Ireland Féile hurling is coming to Ulster, right, which is the under-15s, or the under-14 lads. All over, there's literally hundreds and hundreds of teams coming from all over the place. There's a little team from England is up in Camelot at the minute, and they're playing, and there's a couple of games going to be played down in Park Esler. There's games in Armagh, there's games in the Antrim. They're all over the place. It's a phenomenal, look, Ron, it's great for the young ones.
Absolutely. Not to interrupt you, which I'm doing, full credit to Mitchell's, because they had a major tournament to which young people came from all over the island of Ireland and did great things.
I was involved in that many years ago with our under-10s, and the Mitchells are brilliant. They have a fantastic competition. They were way ahead of the posse with everybody in that, and it's grown from strength to strength and strength. And it's one of the biggest sporting events in this area.
And there is the suggestion too that Sean O'Neill was Mitchell's, was he?
He was, yeah.
There is a suggestion that Sean O'Neill, at his height, they took a DNA sample, and they've been culturing that over the years since Sean O'Neill helped down to its first All-Ireland win. And the development of the spores is now an appropriate state for vaccinating the young Mitchell's players, and that there is a great growth of Mitchell magnificence, the M&M of the world, Mitchell magnificence coming now as a consequence of the maturation of the Sean O'Neill DNA spores.
They must have lost it somewhere along the line this last while.
No, it's only coming now. It's only coming now.
Well, the Mitchells are a great club. They do great work at underage level, and they were struggling a wee bit in the league there, but they got a bit of a bounce back. So
worried about Derry by the weekend because injuries have hit them hard.
Well, I see that, and they have a young lad coming in at full forward. So it's they have a young lad, O'Brien, coming in. Last year, Armagh done the same. They brought Kieran O'Hanlon in, and the press, the lad didn't play well in the game, put under a lot of pressure. If I had been the Derry manager, I would have thrown in one of my injured players, passed no remarks, and then when the team was being lined up, I would have announced that he's not playing, he's playing. Because it'll put the young lad under a wee bit of pressure. But sometimes 18-year-olds, they don't care.
No.
They don't care.
I bumped in the other day to that fellow, Mark Poland. Mark Poland was down with an Armagh fellow. We were doing a promotional thing at the Keys. Keys are very good to me at Christmas time. They give me, every year for the last 12 years, the Keys has given me £500 for my African schools. Every year for 12 years. And all I do is go in for an hour and help Santa Claus start off his season. So we were doing something like that. Now, Mark Poland and the other fellow who was there was the County Down Mayo Bridge fellow, that nice lad.
Benny Coulter.
Benny Coulter, lovely lad.
Or as they say down in Dublin 4, Coulter.
Coulter, indeed, Coulter. Yes, Benny Coulter. Coulter.
And then there's another one.
The pair of the boys were there. And I said to Mark Poland, I couldn't believe, he's not a giant of a man. But I said to him, every photograph I've seen of you in the press in relation to your football, you've looked like one evil animal.
Yeah, he's a good player.
No, but I'm telling you the way he looks. And you ever see his picture in the paper? And I told him this. And he said back to me, yeah, I've heard that before. And then quite accidentally, I bumped into him. I bumped into him. And I swear to God, it was like bumping into an iron wall.
An iron man.
He is a tough human being.
When he's going playing football, all them guys, they are at their absolute peak. And they're flying and they're, everything's ready for them. But Rowan, going back to this weekend, we have a lot of GAA starting. I just have to go to the little.
Okay. Oh, he's got his app.
I've got my little.
He's got the biggest app I've ever seen.
I opened it up earlier on.
Okay. What are you going to tell me?
Right. I'm just going to go right down through the whole lot of them because there's a lot of GAA happening this weekend, and of course the Irish Open's on today. And fair play to Rory McIlroy.
He's going to play for Ireland.
Yes, he picked up the hurl the other day, and he done a wee bit of hurling in the golf. But unfortunately, he's not going so well in the golf, I don't know what.
Do you remember you were making fun of the Dublin South people calling him a Coulter? It's not golf, it's golf.
Golf.
And guys said golf. Golf. That's it. Now you got it.
There is another one. We would call them Gallaghies up here.
The Gallaghies.
Yeah, we call them Gallaghies, and you would know them from Camelot. But
Gallaghies.
Just totally. I was sitting in Clonus one day and they were doing a report, and I said to Newry Q's.
You said to who?
Nudie Hughes.
Nudie Hughes.
Well, the people out there know who
they know who Nudie Hughes is.
A legend.
The legend
and
Nudie
Hughes.
I
says, I don't know that name. Nudie. I don't know that name.
Gallugly.
He says, up your country, they call him Gallagher. So,
right, what's this big thing about the app?
Okay, let's see what's happening here. We're going to go right through them, whole lot of them as it goes.
Oh, no, don't do that to me.
A couple, hold on. Sligo versus Galway in the Connacht.
Okay.
Right, semi-final.
Who cares?
That's been covered by Sky. Well,
Who cares?
I'm sure Sligo and Galway do.
Oh, yeah, I keep forgetting. We go out to Sligo.
Right, yeah.
Sorry, Sligo and Galway. I beg your pardon.
We're on the GA people. Trust me on this.
Okay,
I do. Munster Senior Championship semi-final. Cork versus Tipperary in
Wow, that'll be good.
Yeah, that'll be a Cork win there. There's no doubt about that. And then the All-Ireland Senior Football Championship qualifiers. Limerick versus London in the Gaelic grounds in Limerick. Laois versus Fermanagh in Portlaoise. Pete McGrath takes his team to Portlaoise. Now that's a tough one for Fermanagh. That's a tough one for Pete, and obviously whoever's beat's gone. So that's a tough one for Pete.
Pete's in. He's managing Fermanagh.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, that's a tough one.
But is Pete?
He loves it.
I know he does, but is he not yesterday's man?
No, because Pete has evolved.
But I remember Pete McGrath when Adam was a boy, managing Down.
Yeah, but you have to realise, Ron, the guys at the top level, it's like being a doctor or whatever. Every day you're trained, you keep going, you keep looking at new inventions and new ways of doing things, and Pete McGrath's doing exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like all good
but listen to me, if I had managed the Down team when they won in All-Ireland...
I was going to say they would have lost.
No, if I had that, I would now at this stage, further along the road, be managing Omeath Rovers, not Fermanagh.
Well, it depends on what you want. Like, see, the GAA is not like other sports. It's not like soccer. It's not like rugby. It's like in your inner being. It's like part of your soul. It's a part of who we are and what we do, and that's what it's about. I want to shoot through these.
Pete is a lovely man. Let's be honest about this. A great, great human being. But he's like the rest of us. He's moving along. He's like Roy Keane. He's moving along the timeline.
Roy Keane has never won 2 All-Irelands.
Maybe he has. Who was it? Suarez? Who do you think? Who was it you thought went on to the All-Ireland field and played in the All-Ireland final?
Socrates.
Socrates is there again, baby.
Yeah, but I mean, that's only a myth, but it's a lovely myth.
It is.
And I did, funny enough now, during the week, some of them went back to the 82 team, and there was a great quote yesterday in the paper about what their philosophy was, and I just can't find it.
Well, I want to tell you my philosophy now, as you prepare to app us.
Right, okay. Right,
and as Socrates said it, and it's this: procrastination is the thief of time. So get on with it.
Okay, Wicklow versus Offaly in Ackram at 7 o'clock. And the Ulster, obviously the big one for us is Donegal versus Antrim and Clones at 2 o'clock on Sunday. Now, look, everything tells me that Donegal is going to win that match. The last time these two teams played in the Ulster Championship, it was one of the worst games that was ever played, and there was only a couple of points in it.
Donegal, they've got to stop this old defensive play, putting everything back and holding the ball, keeping the ball away from the real movement of play.
Yeah, but it's just appalling. It is.
It's the death knell of the GAA. If this takes off and becomes an epidemic, we're in serious cultural problems.
Well, it has sort of, but you're going to see a very dire match on Sunday.
It'll be good.
I would fancy Donegal to win it. I can't see Antrim beating them. They might put it up to them for a while, but I just think Donegal have their game plan they're too far ahead of Antrim. I mean, the box the guys out and just say, right, if you want to score, you've got to come in.
What is Antrim?
But you see, Antrim...
Hurling, I think. Well, yes, I don't think football.
But you see, the problem with Antrim is there's obviously there's the city and the town, the country thing, right?
Yeah.
There is great teams in Belfast. And if Antrim could just get their act together, and Antrim could be a force, they should be a force. Antrim should be up there with the big guns, but who knows, maybe with the development of Casement Park coming up, that will help. So then we have the other one, Clare versus Kerry in Cusack Park in Ennis. That's, again, the football. And Kilkenny versus Galway and Tullamore in the hurling. Now, that'll be a cracking game. I absolutely fancy Kilkenny. I love Kilkenny. But Galway need to get a result.
You love their manager. What's his name?
Brian Cody.
You think he's a genius?
He is a genius. He is a genius, and I'll tell you why in a second. And then the Sunday games there on, and Joe Bradley's getting himself into the picture with Sean Kavanagh. And to be fair, Sean Kavanagh came out yesterday.
I was calling him Sean Canavan, by the way. I made a mistake.
Sean Kavanagh came out and said, look, this has to stop because...
Leave me alone.
Yes, leave me alone. Yes, maybe he did hold your man's arm going down once or twice during the game, But how many times was he fouled?
Yeah.
How many times was he battered into the ground? And I suppose players, maybe things happen spontaneously, and maybe you're trying to do these things to get an edge.
Do you hear what you said there? How many times was he battered into the ground? Here is my spontaneous advert for the GAA.
Well,
here it comes, and it's this. Mothers and fathers of the land, how many times would you like your loving children battered into the ground?
Well, let me rephrase that. Okay, of course, when I use the word battered, I use it loosely.
Loosely, yeah, we batter you loosely.
You know what I'm talking about. When in the heat of battle, in the heat of Ulster Championship football, you don't get a ball handed to you. You've already described Mark Poland and what he does.
Well, he's an amazing man.
Yeah, so it's
battered.
You know,
it's a lovely word, but lovely sporting word.
Yeah, look, what I tell you. Sure, I know you're messing here, but anyway.
Oh,
right. Look at this here.
Yes,
Danny
the breaking ball. Danny's doing very well.
Danny is doing brilliant at the right, and I have to say, for the love of the game, and he does a great article in the Irish News today, and he says that that you know the GAA have to look after the players better after they quit playing, because right, you play for your county and you're playing in front of 80,000 people, and you're doing all these wonderful things for 7 or 8 or 10 years, and then all of a sudden the manager decides, here comes young Rowan, Mary, Joseph Hand, he's a good wee footballer,
yes.
I'm going to throw him here corner forward.
Yeah.
So where's the corner forward that has been stintilising the country for years with his brilliance?
I want to say that I have to stop you there. This man has just given me the most beautiful new word for the language. Stintilising. Well done.
Well, you know what I mean.
I do. It's a lovely word. You know what I mean. Believe me.
So like,
so go ahead, please. Sorry, yeah.
All of a sudden, then they're off the panel. They're not playing, and there's a void. There's a huge void in the player.
Yeah.
So what does he do? And obviously, maybe he had injury problems. He had knee problems. He had hip problems, and all that. And all these things, you know, we don't think about them so much because, you know, okay, he's gone, so somebody else comes in. In the professional game, obviously, there's all these ways to look after them. There's insurances and all that. But these guys are amateurs. We don't get paid. We don't get this. And Danny's right in what he's saying. And, you know, they're not being looked after properly. I know the GPA, and I wouldn't be a lover of the GPA. I just don't really like what they stand for. But when I read the likes of this, and when I hear Danny's side of the story, I have to say, only for them, it probably wouldn't be happening. So it is a thing that the GAA need to look at. And I want to touch on another.
We've been hearing that along for many, many years.
Yeah, but
and they're still not doing it.
Well, it's happening.
Yeah.
Slowly, but
certainly with the money that the GAA has,
you know.
and that it by and large reinvests into the clubs.
Well, they do 80%.
But I mean, Danny is right that broken footballers, as a consequence of making the GAA its money, need to be looked after.
The prime product. What is the prime product of the GAA?
I think is the health of the youth of Ireland.
Well, it's the players.
That's the same thing.
So it's not the stadiums. It's not Croke Park or
it's
they're going to spend a colossal
beings.
amount of money on Páirc Uí Chaoimh in Cork, and they're going to build a huge stadium in Cork. Whether it's the right thing to do or not, I don't know. They're going to do the same in Belfast, and you know the issues in relation to that. But I think it's great that you have them stadiums in the big cities.
Yes.
It is a big step into the youth of the future.
Yes.
This is where you're going to be playing. The Director General, Mr. Duffy, from up the road, he gave a wee interview to the Irish News yesterday, and he talked about all things in relation to the GAA. And they touched on the Sky deal. And he said, without the Sky deal, the redevelopment of Casement
wouldn't be happening.
Or Páirc Uí Chaoimh wouldn't be happening.
But didn't they say, it's in my knowledge and in my hearing, didn't they say the Sky deal was not about money? It was about bringing the game to the wider Irish diaspora.
That's correct.
That they weren't getting money from it. So what's he talking about?
Well, you stole my point.
Goodness gracious.
But look, Pádraig Duffy he's a very smart cookie, and he knows. I can understand where he's coming from. And
not so smart if he's saying on the Monday that black is black, and on the Tuesday black is white.
But he's an Ulster man.
Well, he needs to.
You know what I mean?
I know.
But it is good, Rowan.
I should have been in the news by now. Go ahead.
It's good.
Keep going.
It's good that the money that's coming in is going to the likes of that, and it is going out. Like, it's not, look, the GAA now is a money-making organisation to the highest level. They're a huge organisation, and maybe sometimes they're just taking the eye off the ball. But anyway, Carl Cruppen won again on Sunday. We got a draw Friday night. We're out tonight.
I met my wife in Carracruppen.
So you're telling me that before, you know?
At the summer carnival, in the the field.
Where Camera Rovers is?
Yes, down there. That's where I met the wife. She was in a tent.
In the tent.
And I said to my love for you is intense.
But you see, Ron, just before we finish, when
he's finishing now.
When you talk about meeting the wife in the carnival,
I did.
And that if you roll back the way now, I remember looking at the treasurer's report from Carl Cruppen that about 3 and 6pence in the kitty, right? And for 3 and 6pence, for those who don't know what that is, it's probably about 5p in real money now.
I'm becoming very emotional here.
No, but what I'm saying is that was the way for the club to make money, to survive.
Yeah.
You know, and they brought in the band, and then they sold the ice cream. There was no drink in them days.
No.
Minerals and crisps and ice lollies. And the
Would
wooden floor. Wooden floor.
Are you dancing, you'd say?
And then you would say, are you dancing? And she would look at you and says, not a chance, buddy.
Yeah. Or in my case, of course, I thought you'd never ask.
Oh, yeah, well, there's always that, you know.
And then after the dance, you would say, maybe after the second dance, you would say, do you fancy a mineral?
A mineral.
Well, you fancy a mineral. And you got to buy her a mineral, and you sat down there. And
in the wee wooden benches.
Absolutely, along the side.
Along the side.
Oh, sweet God. And then came the AOH Hall.
Yeah.
And they would have Susan McCann and her band there and her husband-to-be.
Dennis.
They were playing up at the stage, and Dennis was here and Susan was singing, and we were sort of dancing.
Good Forkhill woman. And you talk about the AOH, they also used to show, as we would call around our part of the country, the pictures.
The pictures.
And they always used to show cinemas and all, you know, westerns.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of old guys after the film was over, they would go out the back to see where the horses were tied.
Do you know what I'm going to tell you? It's my observation as we draw to a close and prepare for our next musical interlude. It's my observation that nowhere else on the entirety of your broadcasting landscape do I see you smile as much and be as happy as when you're talking with me.
Well, we're talking about sport and we're talking about good things in general. Life's tough. There's a lot of pressure on people out there, and sport to me doesn't get enough recognition. They don't get enough funding. Our so-called government people do not put enough money into sport. They leave it to the volunteers, they leave it to the clubs to do what they should be doing as a government to make their people feel good.
Why fix something that's not broken?
Well, that's true. That's true. But maybe because there's no government interference, but they could be doing with getting more money.
I want to tell you that I think you're a fine human being. You're an emissary from the great land of South Armagh.
Just up the road.
Just up the road. We wish you well.
I wish you well.
And next week I have with you on the sofa the Lady of Skye, who's bringing women's polo onto the GAA pitch at Forkhill.
Rachel. Very good.
Women's polo, using hurling sticks and donkeys.
Lovely. Well, that sounds good. I suppose after having the ginger week in Forkhill, they could also have donkeys with hurls next week.
Is that not kind of racist to have a ginger week? I find ginger people very nice.
I have a sister, Ginger. I have a brother, Ginger. I don't know.
That's not good.
But it's a gene that is very prevalent, and it's also they reckon that if you're a ginger and you have to go for an operation, you have to get more anaesthetic to put you to sleep because of the ginger gene.
So they never sleep.
So there you go.
It's difficult.
You always learn something.
I'll shake your other hand because I blistered this one.
Sorry about that one.
And I don't want to infect you with my blisterization. That's not a good word, blisterization.
And what's the other one?
Oh, you remember it. You tell them. Go on, tell them it. Stintilizing. The bumblebee in the jar. Stintilizingly going up the field. Thank you very much indeed. That was Damien McCullough. This is music.